Here's a problem from 1996 under the category Trig Mechanics. Two ships in the ocean were sighted straight ahead by the pilot of an airplane. How far apart are the ships if they are at angles of depression of 11 degrees and 10 minutes and 15 degrees and 40 minutes? The plane is at an altitude of 6,300 feet. Give answer to the nearest 10 feet. So what do they mean by that expression? So 11 degrees, and we call this 10 minutes. And each minute is 1/60th of a degree. So, this would be 11 degrees plus 10 over 60 degrees, and that's 11 and 1/6 degrees. And we'll do the same thing with 15 degrees and 40 minutes. And that gives us 15 degrees plus 40 60ths of a degree. And that simplifies to 15 and 2/3 degrees. Okay, so now we know how to interpret these angles. But there's more to this problem. We have to draw the diagram and see where the plane is and how that places the ships. So we know the plane is at an altitude of 6,300 feet, and that's measured at a right angle to the sea. Also, the two ships are at those angles of depression. So, what's an angle of depression? If we draw a horizontal line, it's what angle the ships are down from that line. So the first ship would be at this angle, and the second ship would be at this angle. And this is definitely not drawn accurately. So this angle right here would be, we'll call that the 11 and 1/6 degree angle. And then this one we'll call the 15 and 2/3 degree angle. And also, since these two lines here are parallel, because we're assuming the ocean's kind of flat, and that means that this is also 15 and 2/3 degrees. And this one, since this is 11 and 1/6 degree, this is also 11 and 1/6 degrees. And how does this help us? Well, we want to find the distance between the two ships right here, but to do that we need to find this distance here, which we'll call x, and the distance to the other one, which is also, we'll call it y. So y minus x is the distance between the two planes. So how do we find y and x? Let's start with x. So to find x, we just look at this right triangle. And since we already know one angle and one side, we've kind of figured out the whole right triangle. And then we can use trig on our calculators to do this. And how would you use trig? So, by the definition of tangent, 6,300 over x, opposite over adjacent, relative to this angle, is equal to tangent of the angle that we're looking at. And then this is just some value and we need to isolate x, so we get this. And since that's just a value, we get x is around equal to this number. Now let's look at the triangle for y. This angle is 11 1/6 degrees, and this is the same height. So now we just rewrite the expression, except now we're using a different angle. And then that gives us this equation, which is approximately equal to 31915. So now we have y and x. So we have the two lengths from this point to each of the ships. And so y minus x is around equal to 9,450 feet. This is our answer because we also rounded it to the nearest 10 feet, like the problem asked us to. So basically, how you do a problem like this is you use the angles that the problem gives you to draw a diagram, and as long as you know certain lengths, you can find other lengths using angles and trig. And then, based on what the problem asks for, you can just look at the diagram and see what makes sense.